And Terrence Shannon Jr., so if you wouldn't just go ahead and open up to questions.
Terrence, how are you doing?
Oh, good.
What is it? It's such a big 3B classic win for you guys to guard. It was pretty offensively rough for both teams, but something you guys really like about coming here and kind of bringing your big game.
Yes, sir. I feel like we had a bad loss to Providence. We didn't play that well. And coach been harping on our defense and boxing out ever since we lost that game. And I feel like we did a good job rebounding and eliminated their second chance points and we pulled out the win.
Kevin, can you just kind of describe how the game kind of felt to you throughout that whole contest?
We knew it was going to be a heavyweight battle coming in, and we knew they played aggressive defense, and that's what Texas Tech is all about as well, as playing aggressive defense. So we knew it might have been a low-scoring game, and when shots were fine, we knew we just had to do the little things to scrap out the win, such as rebounding and playing hard.
In terms of their three-point shooting, you guys were able to limit them. I guess what were you able to do? Was it just being able to play physical defense and that kind of, I guess, affected them, Kevin?
The game plan coming in was just to run them off the three-point line, try to make them get down here and try to make tough decisions, and we did that. And we rotated as a team and got all our rotations on our defense, so it helped us out a lot.
Terrence, that last part right before overtime happened, I guess, what was going through your mind and what was going through the team's mind at that point?
You talking about when Kevin went to the basket?
Yeah, went to the basket and then obviously he made the three and then it went to overtime.
I feel like it was a good drive by Kevin. He just missed a shot and they made a good play. They capitalized off of it.
I guess in terms of what Daniel Bacha was able to do today, can you guys both speak to what he was able to do? And it seemed like he grew up today in front of everyone's eyes.
Yeah, for sure. In the first half, Bacha got subbed in kind of early, and we were talking to him as the game went on, telling him to keep playing and stay solid. And in the second half, he was at the free throw line and he missed the first one. I told him keep going. I'm here with you and continue playing a good game.
Yeah, really just Bacho, he's a big dude and he's young, but he's smart. His IQ is out the roof, and he plays hard, and we just pretty much just tell him just play hard and just play your game. And today he contributed big and we needed him out there.
Yeah, some big time rebounds, big time.
Kind of from both of you, after that Providence loss, what do you feel this kind of changes the narrative to what you all wanted to do, to where you had a lead and you weren't able to do it against Providence, but this one you had a lead and you guys were able to kind of eventually come out with the victory now?
I feel like it puts us back in the right direction that we were going. And we just got to build on this win. We can't get too high, can't get too low. Just got to stay the course and play game by game.
Any other questions? Right.
What were you guys able to see defensively that you were able to shut down a very good Tennessee team?
I would just say just playing hard. The Providence loss, in the film room, some plays, we seen that some guys, including myself, didn't give our full maximum effort on some plays. And, tonight, I feel like we laid it on the line for the whole time. And in overtime, we knew it was the tougher team was going to win. We came out with a W.
All right, appreciate it.
Those two guys are experienced players, and they played great down the stretch. And just so, again, proud of their effort and their will to win. I also want to show my respects to Coach Barnes in Tennessee. They've got a tremendous basketball program. Year in and year out, they're always tough to beat. We talked about coming in here, we had to match their intensity, and it was in it just being kind of a fisticuff. We just stood toe-to-toe, and it was kind of a slugfest. Neither one could score, but we're just fortunate we were able to come out on top. But a lot of respect for Tennessee, and they made us better tonight.
Questions, please? Right here.
Mark, I guess just going from Clarendon to Madison Square Garden, getting a ranked win, I guess, how can you kind of describe this night for yourself?
Well, fortunately, I've been here, several times. Actually, this is my fifth time, I think, to be in this building. But it's always, fun to be here. Every basketball coach and college player wants to play in this venue. It just has so much tradition and an atmosphere to it. So our guys are excited to come back, and I was more excited for these guys to experience for the first time. But we also had to keep our mind focused on winning and not just the trip and environment. So when we left out of Lubbock a few days ago, our goal was to come in here and win. We said, hey, we got to choose winning, and we're not just coming for the trip, but we've got to come here and take the win, and we needed it. And again, excited these guys embraced that and how they played.
Just, can you speak to what Bacha was able to do today? It seemed like he kind of grew up.
Yeah, I think the stats showing only a couple of blocks, but he altered so many shots, and with his length, and he's just got great timing. Plus, he's a really good athlete and gets off the floor quickly, and so yeah, he's a guy that is going to continue to get better, make us better, and certainly helps us a lot on the defensive end.
In terms of, I guess in terms of those last few moments in the second half and then going into overtime, did you kind of feel like things were turning your way, even though the game was kind of, you know, tied up?
Yeah, it was going back and forth. They kept missing a lot of threes, so we were, you know, just hoping we could hang on. But our guys, I thought, stayed together, stayed poised, and kept contesting shots, and then made some free throws down the stretch. And I thought it was critical. We talked to our guys during that overtime that we need to get the jump ball, and that Bacha will get the tip, and it would, you know, usually whoever can score first usually wins those. So we need to get to the free throw line and get a good shot. So we got off to a really good start in that overtime, and thought that was the difference in the win.
Tennessee, obviously, you said missed a lot of three-pointers. Would you say it was more of a cold night for them, or you guys doing something to kind of run them off the line a little bit?
Well, I think it was, I hope it was a little of both, but mainly defense. I thought we did a pretty good job of keeping them where we wanted to and contesting shots and rotating. But again, they're very disciplined. They get to the paint, kick out, and we'd have to rotate and make several rotations before we could get to the shooter, and then we, you know, try to contest shots. But, you know, they're a very, very good three-point shooting team, as we are as well. I'm looking at our free throws. We're just 1 for 12. Is that right?
That's
incorrect.
That's supposed to be first.
Our new staff
It
program
must
is
be,
not
yeah,
correct.
okay, it's fine. We weren't very good, but I think we're a little better than that. Yeah, okay. We were 4 for 24, right? So, which is, you know, so we did, you know, we've got about 3 or 4 guys shooting over, you know, 40%. So we had a bad shooting night. We have a drill in practice where we put a bucket over the rims and we were rebound, and I felt like sort of it was, we were something over both the rims. It just neither team could get a shot going, especially from 3. So with that said, I thought we did a best job that we've done all year, and something we really focused on, some rebounding. So we, you know, we totaled 54 rebounds to their 47. So that was one of our first keys, was to out rebound to win the game.
Anything else for Coach? Are we good?
Just out of curiosity, Coach, was there anything that you said to the guys to just like help them, especially defensively wise? They did such a great job. Was there anything that you saw that you were able to communicate with them, or?
Well, you know, it's our identity over the years has been defense, and so you know we just haven't. We've got a lot of guys that have came in programs that score a lot of points, and we've got like 7 or 8 of our guys that score double digits from other programs. And I told them before this game, we need to fall in love with defense. Mm-hmm. We fall in love with defense and let offense take care of itself, and our team's going to make a big jump forward and win this game, and we're able to do that. So glad to see us play that kind of intense defense, and I thought we did a great job standing in front of them, pressuring them so they couldn't get some of those threes. They took a lot of those were guarded, and one of our emphasis was trying to pressure the ball so they couldn't get the really good passes. So, you know, I thought we did a good job with our game plan.
Anything else for Coach? We good? Okay.
Rick, I guess just three-point shooting was especially off tonight. I mean, did you feel
Yeah,
like?
you know, obviously it wasn't a very pretty game from either side, but again, I certainly would not take anything away from Texas Tech and Mark. He does a great job. They do the things that they do, and we knew that, you know, their size would be there. You know, one, our guards, even though we were smaller, I thought really fought with them trying to post up, but defensively we did enough. Offensively we didn't shoot well, did not. Free throws in that situation, those become big too, and we did have some looks. I thought we came out a little jumpy. Some of the guys, you know, first time getting here, young guys, and just some of them just being freshmen, but we got to get smarter as a team. We got to understand some situations, but overall, our guys fought, and you know, you think this is a team that set a school record this year with 17 threes in the game, and we had some looks tonight, but we just couldn't get one to go down, and we just kept encouraging our guys to keep taking their shots. And, but both teams had chances to really stretch things out, but it was one of those games where it became a possession game, and we just couldn't do enough on the offensive end.
For Josiah and John, what's it like as a player being on the court in a game like this where neither team's kind of making a shot and it's just lacking kind of that flow?
I think first of all, when you say being on the court, I think that obviously the game didn't go as planned, but I think we kind of have to take it into perspective and reality of how blessed we are to play in an arena like this. That how many great people and great teams and how many memories have been made here. Just how much God has blessed us to be able to play in this arena and be on this platform first and foremost, and then I think like Coach said, a lot of shots weren't falling. We didn't do some of the things that we needed to do.
We got a lot of good looks, shots that we definitely shouldn't have passed up. I feel like the first half started off really slow for us, but I think in the second half we got everything that we could have asked for as far as looks. It just wasn't our day. 6 for 40 from the three, just wasn't shooting the ball well. But we definitely took the shots that we were supposed to take and usually make.
Is that deflating, demoralizing at a point? I mean, when they're just not going in over and over and over?
I mean, as a player, you got to know that in your mindset, every time we try to get to the bench, just telling our players to keep shooting, telling my teammates to keep shooting, they tell me the same thing. So, I mean, it's kind of frustrating, but like basketball, you can't. There's some days the ball seems like you can't not go in, and then some days it seems like you just can't make it. So, it comes with the ebbs and flow of the game.
Rick, can you take positives away from Santi hit a big shot, Josiah hit a big shot after missing so many to get to overtime at least?
Well, the positive is that, I don't know if we're going to be any worse on offense, and we were in the game. We stayed in it, and talking about does it get discouraging when you can't make shots? It's hard to get momentum, but when you're not making shots, some teams let up on the other end. I didn't think we did that. I thought we stayed in it defensively and made them work and for what they had to get, and but overall, yeah, there's some, the way we just stayed in it is a grind game, and we stayed in it and had a chance. I mean, think about it, we got a great look to win the game, as poor as we were on the offensive end tonight, but that's part of it. We know we can be a whole lot better. Like I said, defensively, we do take great pride in that part of it, but tonight we knew it, the way they play defense and what they do, that we were going to get great looks at it, and you obviously hope that you make your share of them. We didn't make enough of them. And we just needed to think about it one or two more, and it would have maybe got the lid off of it, but it didn't. And again, you got to congratulate Tech.
Yeah, what was successful defensively for you guys? I mean, I think you had one allowed field goal maybe in the final 12 minutes.
I think just our players' grit. I do. I mean, they thought they were going to post up the little guards, and it looked both ways. You look out there, you got one team that's 6'6", 6'7", but they didn't take advantage of us for the most part, and we fought them. We fought them that way, and one time we had a four guard lineup, because when you're not scoring, you're trying to figure out a way to get your best offensive team out there, the guys you think can make some shots on the offensive end. So we went 4 guards because we truly believed that we could switch everything and guard anybody they had out there, and admire our guys for that. But again, we were just, it was an ugly game from certainly our point of view, when you just, especially when it leaves players' hands, when as much time as we put into shooting, you think it's going to go in, but when it doesn't, it's just, you got to get back down, which makes it harder on that other end. And like I said, I admire guys for the grit that they stay with on the defensive end.
Rick, is passing up shots, is that kind of reverting to some old habits?
We did early, and I thought that.
Is that concerning at all?
Yeah, I think that was a problem early, and I think it goes back to confidence maybe, and some of it. I don't think we can kid ourselves, being in the garden and all that. I mean, everybody comes in, they want to play well in here, but early, and then sometimes we make shot too quick. Guys are trying to rush the shot as opposed to doing it with rhythm. At the end of the game, when we really started driving the gaps, kicking, making the extra pass, that's what we wanted. But again, a little bit too much over dribbling at time with certain guys, and you know, we got to the rim. You got to give them credit for blocking some shots in there, and we'll learn from it. You know, I think we learned a lot from the Villanova loss. We'll learn from this one, and got a lot of basketball ahead of us, and we just got to see the improvement that we've got to make.
From our angle, we couldn't really see what happened. Josiah, what happened on that open court play where you kind of lost your footing?
I was just hyperextended my knee. Just kind of gave out, and I just fell.
Anything else? All right, last question.
Is there something about playing on this stage that can make a team offensively struggle the bigger the stage? Do you think that?
Well, I think so.
There?
I do. I mean, you know, you look at it. You got Kennedy, freshman. You got Z, freshman, and Santi. You know, I mean, Santi wasn't his normal self. I mean, he said as soon as he walked in the locker room, you know, he said, "Hey, I just wasn't myself," and you know, didn't help us. And we need Santi. We need John. We need Josiah. DJ, we need those guys because they've been around long enough to help us do that. But you know, I don't think there's any question when you're in a special place, and we all know it. You grow up with it, and I think it can affect guys. But that's why we do this, because hopefully we're going to be on a bigger stage than this at some point in time. And our goal will always be to play on Monday, and that's as big a stage as you can get. So as many times as you can get on as big a stage as you can get on, it will help us.
This is really the last one.
My bad. Rick, you really shrunk the rotation in the second half. Didn't really use Olivier, Justin, guys like that. What was the thought there?
Well, we're around our guys enough. We have a sense for their body language and what they're doing. And again, like I said, the way we were not scoring the ball, we felt we had to get the guys out there that we felt could score, along with the Garden. But we see guys every day, and we can tell when they're locked in. Like you know, when Santi got to foul trouble early, you could tell he became a little bit too tentative, and I think they did a good job with what they wanted to get done defensively for our guys. But we look at it, you know, we'll see that. Yeah, I mean, missing shots is a part of the game, and our defense kept us in a position to do it, but we just couldn't generate enough to beat them with a poor offensive day.
Good?
Thank you.
Great college basketball atmosphere, man. It was so cool. Start of that game, feel that place rocking and hear those fans. And just seeing Syracuse orange in there like old times, it was really cool. I hope our guys really enjoyed that. I could feel it from the time we walked out onto the court. And they are a really explosive offensive team, and they've got so many weapons, and I was really proud of our second half effort. We struggled in the first half with their zone. We struggled guarding them a little bit. But our defensive effort in the second half was outstanding. These two, I know they were good offensively, but defensively on the glass, they were awesome. I was really proud of our second half effort against an outstanding offensive team.
Questions for Coach, please?
Jay, what do you have to say about the rebounding effort tonight? You guys had more rebounds than three-point shots attempted.
That's a good number. You know, it's an area that we have been struggling, to be honest. We've been getting better the last couple games, and we knew this was going to be a test today to see if we could continue that path of improvement. That was big, because in the first half we couldn't make a shot, and the offensive rebounding kept us in the game.
Jamie, do you think you were the only one who felt it? I mean, these guys never played Syracuse before. It may as well have been pretty.
You know, I didn't get to talk to him about Dan. That's why I said, like, I hope I would talk to him about. Did you feel it? Did you feel the energy in there, like at the beginning?
Yeah.
It was cool, right? And that was that's something special that we're all really fortunate to be part of college basketball and get to playing games like that in this arena, in this atmosphere.
Jay, just curious, what changes for your team, whether it's Caleb or somebody else, when you guys get that type of pop off the bench?
Caleb brings instant offense off the bench and a threat. And I thought Tamir Cosby gave us great minutes off the bench in the first half. And then Chris Arch is always the like the rock. He just keeps us together when he comes in off the bench.
Just to follow up on that, it was one defensive play that Demir blocked the shot. I know his minutes are going to be limited, but if he can add in that spot time rim protection, how much is that just going to change things defensively?
Definitely. And when we play against bigs like that tonight, we're going to need them. And we had to make a choice. We were ready to use them in the second half, but we were doing a pretty good job defensively, so we went with the offense. But we're going to definitely need him for that. Thank you very much.
Did you tell right away that last play, that last dunk that kind of sealed it when Colin made that steal? Did you see that play developing too?
I saw it developing because I've seen Colin do that many times before. But even after the dunk, I knew they weren't going to go away. It's a great Syracuse offensive team. And honestly, I was thinking the next play, just trying to get everybody together, thinking about the same thing.
Jermaine, you really came alive in the second half. Looked like you were getting a lot of touches in the paint. That really helped you kind of get your offensive game going? Or, what was, you looked great in that second half.
I was just trying to make plays for my teammates. Their zone is very, very lanky, and they cover spots really fast. So I was just trying to be a threat and face the basket and try to make plays for my teammates.
Coach, you mentioned earlier this week that it was a unique look seeing the 1-3-1 or 1-1-3 zone from Syracuse. How do you feel like your team adjusted from the first half to the second half after seeing that?
I thought it was really clear that we struggled in the first half. You just don't see that. And they do other things. I think one of the things that Jim has done a great job of his career, he's very humble about. We just play this 2-3 zone. There's a lot more to that. They play your personnel. They force you into the middle. They do a lot of things. And it's not like anybody else's zone. So we really struggled with it in the first half. I think it took a whole half for us to kind of figure it out, but also for just the guys to be comfortable with the way they were flying in our shooters, the way they protected the rim.
Jay, apologies if this was asked at the start of the press conference, but what worked so well in slowing down Buddy Boeheim?
I think Justin and Brandon Slater, they're really good individual defenders. It sounds trite, but if you have guys that can guard one-on-one, it really makes your defense great, right? And Justin played another great scorer from St. Joe's, our last game, and did a great job on him. And Brandon Slater and Justin were both on him a lot. They did a good job. We could keep different bodies on him.
So much of what's worked for Syracuse this year is kind of predicated on guys having to help in the spacing that creates. Is that kind of the mindset going in? Is we're not really trying to help, we're going to trust our best defenders against their best players?
we were trying. We were trying.
Sure.
And in the first half, they were getting us on it. And they still got us. There was a number of times, Jim's a great coach. He found the right matchup, and especially on the timeouts, they went right inside, got Jimmy Boeheim posted up. They'd get Gerard on our 5-man, and it was just, you were constantly just trying to get your guys to try to stay out of those situations, as much as you could. And that's what makes it tough to play them.
John, and then back there.
Yeah, I know there's one big game left in this gamut that you've been through, but now that you've been through the majority of the non-conference, what are you seeing in terms of the team's just growth against all the different styles you're going to see from UCLA until now?
I think we're getting a lot better, John. I think we'll talk about our rebounding is getting a lot better. I think, two of our losses, we weren't bad defensively, but our rebounding was poor. That's something that we're improving on. I still think we can get our bench going a little bit more. We can get Demir going. I think we have a lot of room for growth. So I feel good about where we are, but I think we can get a lot better.
Jay, second half, it looks like you guys did a better job inside out against the zone. What was the problem in the first half and the adjustment in the second?
Not a great plan by the coaching staff in the first half. And in the second half, we got Jermaine inside. And Jermaine, that's what he was talking about earlier about. As much as he scored, we were getting the ball to him in the middle. He was making plays for everybody. And then when he didn't make plays, it put him in position for offensive rebounding too. I thought he was a real key to our second half offense.
Jay, you talked a little bit a couple of times about rebounding, and how critical was your offensive rebounding, especially in that second half surge?
I thought in the first half it kept us in the game in the first half because we couldn't make a shot. We were struggling with their zone. And then in the second half, it would have been really close. It would have just stayed close like it was the whole first half, except they got us some extra possession, got some threes. Offensive rebounds was really important.
Do we have any questions for the players? Because if not, I'll release them. You do? All right, I have one in the back and I'll get to you. Go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I'm Kate Calloway with Spectrum News in Syracuse. Just wondering, going up against Cole rather than having him on your team, what did you see from him tonight?
Unbelievable rebounding, man. He was a beast on the glass, and that was the first time we've ever done that. Played against one of our former players. I can't say I enjoyed it. To be honest, I was just trying not to look at him. And we hugged after the game, but very uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I hope we don't have to do that again.
Jermaine, the emphasis on the rebounding was really terrific tonight. What was your role, trying to, keep the ball alive, especially 25 offensive rebounds by your team?
I was just trying to make plays for my teammates. Everybody was getting threes. The shots weren't falling, so I knew that I had to go in there and make plays, just keep the ball alive, get us extra possessions. And obviously, my shot wasn't going down, so I was just trying to make sure I could do everything I could to be effective in the game.
Okay, anything else for the players? We good? Okay, yes.
No. I actually didn't realize it was like that. Someone else mentioned it early. That's good for us. As you know, JoJo, you watch us. We need to get better rebounding. We've talked about it and we've worked on it, so it's nice when they get to see the fruits of their labor.
We good?
Thank
you. Things in early season tournament losses and early season at home. We had to get better defensively. We've done that. I think the one thing that hurt us tonight is the rebounding aspect, and they were really quick to the ball. 5 of them are physical, strong guys, and they just beat us on second shots. I thought our first defense was good. I think they shot 26% from the 3. They're a 40% shooting team from the 3. So I think we did a good job there. I think that second chance efforts, and 2 of those threes came off missed shots too. But I just thought that we played really good defensively. The second chances really hurt us. But offensively, we just struggled. It was a struggle. They're a really good defensive team, and you're going to struggle against them. But it's a physical game, and we're not as physical as we need to be. I think we're getting better at it. But I think they're one of the best teams in the country, and we're not. I think we're going to continue to get better, but right now we're not good enough.
Questions, please? All the way in the back.
Coach, you mentioned the defense is getting better, but what can you change to maybe put your players in a better position to rebound at a higher rate?
With the last game, we played a pretty good rebounding team, and it was even. So I'm not going to change anything. We have to rebound better.
How do these tough non-conference opponents help you guys get better this year?
I don't know if they really do. People say that. I'm not sure that really does, but we'll see. We'll see how we play.
What was the key for Jimmy today, Coach? What was the key for Jimmy today?
They don't come off our shooters. He's a really good driver, and most teams come off a little bit, but they didn't. We felt they probably wouldn't come off, but so he had good opportunities, good openings to get down there. And again, I mean, Jesse, we got the ball to Jesse. He's got to get stronger. He had some great opportunities, and the ball got knocked out, knocked loose, or he didn't finish, and they fouled him, and he's been I think he's a good free throw shooter. He didn't shoot well tonight from the line. But they're not coming off our shooters, so that's something that has been really from the very beginning. And I think Buddy got into the shots that he can make, and he missed in and out 3 or 4 of them, and that's going to happen.
Just to follow up on that, Jimmy, what were you seeing out there from the defense that gave you the opportunities to score today?
Yeah, just like he said, it's playing with 3 really good short shooters on the court all the time, and just having the mentality of knowing they're not going to come off, makes it a lot easier in my end. I can just be really aggressive and try to score. So, just knowing that and getting the ball in good spots, just taking advantage of that, I guess.
Obviously, of all your really good teams has been to have somebody who come off the bench and provide a lift. How important is developing that as the season progresses?
Well, we haven't had that in a long time. You're going back a few years. We haven't had anybody come off the bench in the last few years that have been effective. You have to go back to, I don't know, where you going back to Deion Waiters?
Waiters, Chris Joseph.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago.
8.
8 years ago. We haven't had anybody off the bench.
How big is just trying to develop the bench to
Frank comes in, he's given us some good minutes. Samir gave us some, but we're limited coming off the bench. We've got to get it done with the guys that are in there, and when you lose, that's what everybody says. Don't overplay how many guys tonight. Everybody asking them if they need to get anybody coming off the bench.
They had a good player come off the bench. One. Yep. No.
I'd like to have one. If I had one, I'd put him in there. That guy's been a starter at times too.
Absolutely.
He's a really good player. We don't have that. There are other guys played 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 49 seconds. So it's the same old story. When you lose, everybody goes, well, who's going to come on? No. You got to get it down to the guys that are in there. They're the guys that got out rebounded by 20. But I'd like to have Deion Waiters, but I don't think he's eligible anymore.
All the way in the back, and now you
Jim, I know you touched on it a little bit, but what did they do well against Buddy, and how much of it was just missing shots he normally makes?
Well, they're good, really physical. He's got to get it off the dribble. He's not getting any good spot-ups looks. He got a couple open threes, but that's after the game's been going for a long time. They're hard to make those when you haven't gotten any in the whole game. So, he's been really good off the dribble. They're making him, everybody's making him go off the dribble. And, he got to the shots. I mean, at Florida State, he didn't get to the shots. They were so double and moving on him, but that, other guys had opportunities too. But with Villanova, they're physical enough with whoever's on to make it tough for him. And he's going to have some of those games because he's going to get no easy shots the whole year, and the same with Cole. And they're going to have to figure a way to get off the dribble and get in the lane and make those shots. And that's something that's got to keep getting better. We got to keep working on that. But with Buddy, he's been able to do that, so I'm confident that he can do that. And I think we're getting a lot better. If we had played Villanova 2 or 3 weeks ago, they'd have had 15 at halftime. So we're getting better. We're not there, but we're getting better.
way in the back.
Coach, obviously Buddy's struggling, like you mentioned before, but how does this skid for him shooting compare to other ones that you've seen from him?
He's getting, he's not getting an easy shot until you get a couple at the end, but he's making tough, the games he's had really good games, he's made tough shots in those games. And, with Indiana, every shot he took was tough. He didn't really, I don't think, have an easy shot in the game. So I know he can make them, and, he's just going to keep working at it. He's going to go back and work twice as hard probably as he always does, and he'll bounce back. But for us to be successful offensively, we're on the verge where we can get there. Cole and Buddy have got to be guys that can score for us. I think Jimmy's made a huge impact. I think Joe's been really good, and I think Jesse's, you know, getting there as well. Tremendous improvement. But we need to get Buddy and Cole going for sure, and we will. This is the with this group and this team. I'm really pleased with where we are. We've lost two really good teams, and one team that we probably should beat that made 18 threes against us. So that happens sometimes. But I think we're improving, and I think that we've been in a position where really we've learned a lot, and I think we're getting better, and I think we will get better.
Anything else, or is that a wrap? All right, last question.
How do you think Cole handled playing his former team?
Yeah, he rebounded, and you know, he didn't get many looks. They did a great job. Gillespie did a great job coming up on him, and you know, they know he struggles putting on the floor, and so you know, they're not giving you any catch and shoot opportunities. So you know, he's got to get better putting on the floor. When you play really good defensive teams, and there's a handful of them, you know, that are really at this level. Villanova, I thought Auburn and VCU were really good defensively. Those three teams were really good defensively. You know, you got to be able to put it on the floor and make a play. And, you know, we've got to keep getting better at that. But again, you don't judge your team based on what you do in a game against the top 5-6 team in the country. I mean, we're not there. But we showed some signs tonight that we could get there, and I think we're going to get a lot better in the next few weeks.